As you can see on your screen, we're going to hear a keynote presentation from Mr. John SEALEY, who is the Global Design Director of M&J London, Marques Jordy in London. When I spoke to John and I asked him, what is it that is so interesting about your presentation? Because you're first up in the morning, you got to be really stimulating. John told me that he's going to talk to all of us about creativity in design. Not just ordinary creativity, but creativity in a captivating manner. Something that is going to capture and delight your audience. And it's going to be a lengthy presentation because John has got immense experience. He's been working for several years, and we are all personally very interested to hear what he has to say. So before we plunge into the meetings, please help me in welcoming Mr. John SEALEY on stage.
Cheers. Thank you. Hello. Okay. If you consider these buildings, this is what surrounds our cities at the moment. These are spanning kind of 4 decades, and it's all looking the same. All our cities are kind of like this kind of postmodern architecture. And the architects have forgotten about beauty, they've forgotten about love and power in their work. And then you look at these buildings, and you want to walk up to these buildings, you want to touch them, you want to feel them, you want to walk inside them, you want to take photos of them, play Pokemon around them, whatever. But it's the emotions that are attached to buildings like these that we like to emulate in our work. So we are much more interested in emotion. And how our buildings, how our architecture, how our interiors, how it makes you feel, how it makes society feel, how it makes the client feel. We like passion, we like lust, we like kissing, we like love, and we aim to create love through design. So that's kind of our motto. As an example, this is a bathroom we designed for one of our most important clients. And here she is. Her name is Nunu. She's 2 years old. She likes flowers. And I love this photo because it really sums up designing with emotion for us. We aim to make everybody feel just like this little girl. So we work in 3 different areas. We work in art, design, and architecture. And we work on all scales, from the very small, like this bespoke lamp, to the huge, like this 5.7 million square meter master plan, which we're doing in China at the moment. It's actually a sustainable set of islands, and it's so big that we have to send it to the UN for approval. This is some of our work. This is a yacht that we're doing for a sheikh in Dubai. This is a lamp that we're doing for Hermes in Paris. This is the lobby of the J Hotel in Dubai. This is a high-rise in Miami. This is a bank. Is there something wrong with this? Okay now? Great. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is a bank interior. For hospitality, we believe in creating unique guest experiences. We were approached earlier this year by a Chinese couple who owned a load of tigers. And we know nothing about tigers, but they had an idea of developing a hotel where you sleep with the animals. So we thought, okay, that's quite interesting. They had a plot of land, which is about 80,000 square meters. And we worked with zoologists to break up the landscape into a series of different plots of land. So it's actually like 80 different islands on this one plot. And each of the tigers live on each of the different islands. And then we developed a series of villas. Now, we didn't want to intrude too much onto the landscape. So we made a very minimal kind of style of architecture that was raised up on pilotis so that the tigers wouldn't kind of eat you. And then they kind of frame the views and offer 360 kind of panoramic views of the space. This is one of the hotels on the site. So the villas range between 600 and 1,000 square meters. This is one of the hotels. And each plot, you're kind of living with the landscape and with the tigers as well. So you really have that kind of experience where you're close with the animals. And then each one has this really nice kind of terrace and roof gardens as well. So you could be there with your kids as a family resort. And then each one is actually connected by an elevated walkway. Thank you, that's better, excellent. On from that, as something unique is the J Capsule Hotel. Now, we were approached by a guy from Shanghai who had a very small plot of land in the center of Shanghai, and he wanted to put 500 rooms on this plot of land and make it a capsule hotel. But because it's China, he liked it to be high-end. So this is going to be the world's first 5-star capsule hotel. China is incredibly dense. The land price is incredibly high. So this really fits in with that kind of niche of hospitality. There's an insatiable need of luxury in hospitality industry, and also something which is completely new. So we kind of rethought everything about hotel and what a user and guest experience can be for a hotel of this size. This is a plot of land. It's just 7 meters wide. It's 40 meters deep, and it's sandwiched between the high-rise building. It's actually an amazing piece of engineering because every 10 floors, there's actually 2 floors which are open so that the wind can pass through so that the building doesn't actually topple over. The narrative for the interior was to intensify the emotions, intensify the user experience. We did this with immense amount of research into the materiality of what we can use for finishes, which is something very, very different in form and shape, in tone, using latex, kind of new lighting techniques, and all these different kind of materials. So each space is a surprise. Each space is something which will fill you with awe and inspiration. This is one of the units. It's 12 square meters. It has a king-size bed. It has everything that you would have in the facilities of a 5-star hotel. It has the living quarters as well, the living space, a mini bar and everything. And then we stack them up, put a 1.4 meter corridor in between. This is the interior. We researched into the business class kind of airplane units that you have on these kind of very big kind of A380s. And we really worked the details out, even down to the stitching of the leather fabrics, putting all of the lighting into the walls. This is a new kind of typology. It's a double twin with a shared bathroom in the middle. And this is how that stacks up. So they're quite kind of cozy spaces, even though they're just 12 square meters, and we really packed everything into these units to make them very, very special, and also one kind of huge window on each of the units, so you've got this kind of view of Shanghai. This is the space that you enter off of the kind of horrible, busy, polluted street. So you're already coming into something which is kind of surreal, kind of very, very different and surprising. As soon as you come off the kind of horrible street in Shanghai, you're whisked up to the 24th floor where you enter the lobby space. You have this 9-meter feature wall, which is actually kinetic. It kind of swarms. Each of the pods there are kind of little lobby lounge pods, offer a fisheye view of the city. And this is inside the pod, looking back towards the kinetic kind of chandelier wall. The business class lounge has this fabric along one side, and this is a narrative, a theme which runs through the whole of the interior space. The specialty restaurant has these latex booths in the middle, panoramic views either side, a 40-meter glass chandelier running down the center of the space. All-day dining is one kind of long table, which makes people want to kind of be a bit more intimate rather than being on their phones all the time. They're enjoying the dining experience and the romance of of dining out with your friends or with your lover. So it's a very kind of unique space, again with leather on the walls. The spa is exactly the same format as the king room, just a slightly different look and feel. This is one of the pools. There's actually two. This one's a cantilevered glass bottom pool. But you see the feature of the seating at the back, which again is something that's consistent through the design. And then on the top floor, you have the sky bar, which again has that consistency, that language, design language through some of the DJ spaces on the roof. So it's very kind of Shanghai, very kind of cool, funky, and very, very different hospitality design. Can we play the animation? This is the second pool. And a Chinese restaurant. So it's a modular system which we've used and implemented, so it's very quick in terms of construction. And that's the nightclub in the basement. And that's will be the world's first 5-star capsule hotel. Okay. One of our partners is Fashion TV. Fashion TV are all about the glitz, the glamour, the beautiful people, and diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. This is their brand image, and they approached us to come up with a design for a rollout of their hotels. They had one particular site in Dubai, and we started with the facade design. They wanted something which was modular, something which could work and be replicated into their different hotels globally. We come up with a very simple cladding system. We chopped off one of the corners, so it's kind of just like their logo. We developed a whole series of different designs based on just basically two formats, a square and a diamond. And then we worked with our lighting engineers to put in a framing system for lights as well into their system. And these can all be stacked, they can be placed on a container, they can be shipped. It's very light, it's very efficient. This is one of the high-rises in Dubai. So you see some of the details of the cladding system and the lights which are implemented into it as well. So each building can actually look quite different. It depends on the patterning which we can develop. They liked it so much, they said, can you do it for the 3-star hotel? So that's exactly what we did, but we changed the color, we changed the format to become something which is a lot more iconic and ideal for their brand image. For the service apartments as well, they wanted us to develop the architecture. We thought it would be nice if it was a series of stacked diamonds. It's actually a rational building with a series of cantilevers. Again, we used a modular system. So we manufacture everything in our factory and ship it on site. And then for the cheaper kind of service apartments as well, it's the same format which we use. They invited us to go to the Maldives for a site in the middle of the ocean where they wanted to do a resort. Obviously, we agreed. We thought it'd be quite nice to do that. So we flew over there. And we worked with shipbuilders in Shanghai to produce a series of diamond-shaped cabanas, which again fit with the brand of the hotel. So these cabanas are kind of duplex units. They sit on the seabed. You sail out to them, and each one has a jetty. They're fully sustainable. All of the M&E works is on the bottom of the unit, and it's even got a glass bottom living area as well, so you can see the fish. Our sustainability section looks at how we can make this a LEED Platinum series of units, so using natural ventilation and building system management systems and various other things, photovoltaic cells, to make it as sustainable and net zero as possible. We were already building their 3-star hotel in Bali, which was nearly complete. So we kind of asked the landlord if we can put one of these units into the hotel. And he said, well, it's okay, as long as you put it on the roof. We actually put it on the roof. And he said, you can make a club out of it. So we just put some lights in it and put some furniture and made a VIP club out of it. But for us, it was kind of a mock-up. We wanted to test the insulation, wanted to test the structure and make sure that it worked so that it would be okay for the Maldives. So this is the finished product in the Maldives. It's a series of scattered diamonds on the ocean. And the idea is that you are the supermodel. And that is your kind of special holiday. You sail out to this kind of resort in the middle of the ocean. Can we play the second movie? Yep. So this is the 3-star hotel in Bali, which we've completed. It's now open. It's the first FTV hotel. We designed everything from the interiors, the lighting, the furniture, the knives and forks, everything for this hotel. It's got the diamond jacuzzis on the roof. And everything is about the brand. It's a branded hotel. And then you have a bikini party, which is pretty cool. This is the business hotel. It's FTV business hotel, and this is one in Seminyak in Bali. These are units in Mauritius. Again, there are black diamonds on the site, right onto the beach. You can see the cladding system here for the service apartments. Some of the corridors and some of the rooms. So even the pillows are branded for FTV. It's all about the glitz, the bling bling, and all about their brand. This is one that's the first one in Dubai, which will be going before 2020. It's even got a diamond on the roof with a helicopter pad, and you see how the cladding system works with the lighting. With contemporary kind of elements for this is fashion TV again. but it's that kind of hybrid between what is local and what is contemporary, to give you a very unique kind of series of lobby spaces. There's another movie, the contemporary with the natural. This is a resort in Jimbaran in Bali. It's 80,000 square meters. We've got the influence from the rice terraces in Bali. So each of the rooms is a kind of stacked up and offers views of the bay. And we use local craft techniques of wood and stonework, which the contractors can do really, really well. And we wanted to really exploit that into the program. So it's about taking the local influences, taking the local architecture and adapting them to the site. Adapting it to something that works and that's functional and that's different and that's kind of inspirational onto the plot of land, and something that works and that is correct. We use a lot of the bamboo there and the local elements. There's actually not a lot of materials which we use in here, but we wanted to make them everything local and everything sourced locally, so it's a sustainable project. Some of the dining areas will have that local touch, Chinese restaurants. So each of these units has a kind of cascading water feature at the front as well, and a very, very kind of long kind of pool that you can swim in. And then each of the units opens up, so it offers kind of panoramic views of the sea as well. So it's a very unique guest experience, and these kind of little kind of cozy pockets of romantic spaces. On the same side we have the hotel as well, which is a lot more simple in terms of its construction and the techniques which we use. But again, it's infused with the local materiality and the local culture. And even the furniture we designed to be kind of branded diamonds. It holds me captive, yet I'm free tonight. We also work in fashion, so we develop the costumes, all of the fashion for the hotel as well. So again, it's an immense amount of research which we go into to look at kind of the Balinese style of dress and how we can kind of fuse that with a local, a more modern, contemporary image of fashion TV. This is one of the projects which we're developing right now in Dubai. It's about 1 million square meters. It's a mixed-use development. It's going to be Fashion City. It's a series of this is one of the retail podiums. High-rises, service apartments, 5-star hotels, and office complex. All branded. It sits right on the edge of the coast. Can you play the final movie? This really is something completely unique, very, very special. It will be the first fashion city. There's a series of a high-rise. You've got the hotel at the front there. There's one at the back as well. These are all high-end apartments. All rational tower blocks, but we've adapted and learned from what we've done with the facades of the other projects. So the facade is kind of these diamonds, but it's a regular kind of modular glazing system, which we've used. So it's a kind of very unique interior. These are some of the interiors. There's lots of clubs in this whole development. This is one of them. So lots of projections and infused with their media. This is one of the public buildings. Specialty restaurant. You can even get married on site in a chapel, which again is one of the cabanas, but we've adapted it to a lot of kind of natural light So it's a very unique space with reception areas. And then we have another kind of mixed-use space with no program, but it's there for kind of fashion events, retail spaces. And then below we have a kind of a very exuberant lobby space with a 20-meter high ceiling, kind of drained with natural light. This is the media center for their operation. Series of stacked diamonds, which are cantilevered. It really fits in with the architecture of the site. Again, we look at all of the details, all of the components, from the lighting down to how the detailing of the steps, the reception counters, everything is highly detailed and researched and really put in. This is the studio for the models and all the pretty people to do their makeup and their hair. It's good for their fashion events. This is a quick glimpse of what it would look like at nighttime as well. And some of the other restaurants and bars. This is a rooftop bar, which will offer panoramic views of the site, of the ocean, and of the city as well. And there'll be a number of these bars on the site. And this is the hotel. You'll see one of the penthouses in a second. It has like a 9-meter ceiling. Really something very unique and special for Dubai. And this is what it looked like at nighttime. So using this cladding system, which we developed over the years, just on a much larger scale. So this will be for 2020. I don't think it'll all be complete by 2020, but at least kind of the first 1 or 2 phases. Before we get a project, we spend the first sort of 3 to 4 weeks doing an immense amount of research into the location, into the site, into what the client wants, the needs and the specifics of each individual kind of project. And once we got all of this information, all of this data, it really does inform how the design will turn out. This is a project we're doing in Cambodia. It's called the Ang Hotel. It's a 5-star resort. It's something which is completely different and unique in this area of Siem Reap. Again, we used local techniques from the local manufacturers and really researched into what can be built really well. The reception space is kind of like a little cave area at the back, so it's a lot more kind of intimate in terms of its arrangement and space. And then we have the typical rooms here. This is the king room. We put a lot of details and a lot of things which are reference to the local heritage. Another room type. This is the suite room. So it has this kind of design language which is much about the location as anything else, really. This is one in Mumbai in India. So again, it's about doing an immense amount of research to come up with a really cool, different, unique interior. This is the lobby space. It's a business hotel, so it's quite slick and cool in its finishing. These are some of the rooms. And this is another one in Calcutta. So it's, again, the J Hotel. It has that kind of narrative, that design, but it has that local touch as well. And this is the lobby space. It's something very kind of unique for the lobby of the design. And then again, this one is in Tokyo. So it's infusing the local materiality, the local heritage into the hotel. This one will be the J Hotel in Dubai. It's the typical king room, inspired by kind of the forms of the sand dunes, but just looking at things in different ways for the headboards and all of the details to come up with a unique interior. We understand that to design anything which is complicated is very, very simple, but to design something simple is actually quite difficult. We believe in clarity. We believe in producing things which are simple in terms of their ideas, in terms of their narrative. This is the J Hotel in Jakarta. The idea is very simple. It's a lily, which is something which is personal to the client, and actually personal to the site as well. It's about creating something which is inspiring, something which is completely different. This is the lobby space, a series of lilies which we make from corian. So as soon as you go into this space, you're kind of almost in awe of the space that you're in. It's something completely different to the kind of manic streets which are outside. We use the same narrative, the same design idea, implementing it in different ways into the sky areas, into the restaurants as well, even down to the furniture. But this is just one idea, just one thing, just the lily and how it can be infused into these different spaces. This is one of the restaurants, and you can even make a bath out of that same idea, or lighting fixtures in the lobby lounge space, or on a cabana area, something which is very, very different. It's just a new mode of thinking about things which come from a very simple source, even down to the details of the blinds or an entrance to the bar. And things are using modern techniques like 3D printing to create wall finishes or business centers, and how they can be used at nighttime as well. We also look at lighting. This is one of our key components which we use. It's called the cloud. This one was done a few years ago for Selfridges in London. It's made from aluminium. This was for London Fashion Week. It's the thinking cloud of a deer. It's a suspended light source, which we can use in different ways. This is for Elephant Parade. It's a charity in Hong Kong. But you see all of the details here, which we laser cut the aluminium. In this case, the elephants, and we wrapped the elephant in several different ways. We can put wings on them. We can put butterflies on them. These become art pieces for hotels which are auctioned off. This is one of them. It's about 20 meters long in Akura Hotel in Bangkok, which sits above their dining space. So these are actually modular systems again. We like to do things which are very simple. So they're just about a meter long, 800 to a meter long, flat packed, laser cut aluminium. We can put any design into each piece. So if you like dogs, if you like cats, if you like cars, whatever you like, we can infuse that into the design. They're extremely detailed, and we have a series of artists which go on site and kind of construct these things. Or we can build them off-site and ship them in a series of boxes. So each of the lampshades is very unique, is very different, and we can tie them together to make one long piece. And it's that emotional connection again. It's the story, it's the narrative of the chandelier and how people can read that and react to that. So it always has this emotional theme through the whole space. But it doesn't stop there, because we don't have to use aluminium, we can use any product. We were asked by Bloomberg in London to come up with a design of a chandelier which used waste computer wires. And we use the same format of a modular system, which is wrapped around a central kind of core ring, and we just wrap it round, ship them on site, make one long piece, which becomes a very elegant final chandelier in their London headquarters. It's there right now. It's about 18 meters. We've done a similar thing in Thailand about 3 weeks ago, which we finished. We used the local fishing baskets to create a series of chandeliers in their dining spaces. It's exactly the same format, but again has that heritage kind of link. We have a kind of world-renowned artist as well that does a lot of the hospitality artworks. Whenever we get a project, we look at it from the beginning, not only the interior and the architecture, but also the products that we can put in and the artwork. So it becomes this integrated design right from the beginning. These are some of the artworks which we put in some of the hotels based on kind of water and flowers. and we can kind of suit any environment really. So you really do have this kind of strong narrative in each of the different hotels. I'm going to finish with one project. It's not a hospitality project, but it is a groundbreaking project that I want to share with you. It's actually an infrastructure project, which we're doing in Shanghai, and it's going to have a lot of impact. I want to share it with you. And I think that's relevant because there's a lot of infrastructure which is going on in Qatar right now. Bangkok is an amazing place. It's heavily congested. It's got about 9 million people, and by 2020 we'll have like about 20 million people. It's got a lot of pollution as well, as you probably already know. The BTS is heavily congested because of all of these people. And it went from looking like this on the left, which is quite sparse over the last 3 years, to be incredibly crowded and now kind of smells of people's armpits. The other problem that Bangkok faces is green rate. It's at 0.72 square meters per person, which is extremely low in terms of green areas. But there is hope because the BTS is a great piece of infrastructure. It's clean, it's quick, it's quiet, it's efficient, although it's not really affordable for everybody, but it does hold a great potential for a new sustainable mode of transportation. This is it. This is the Skyride. By connecting the existing structure with a cantilevered cycle highway, we can actually produce 3 lanes, 6 lanes, and even 12 lanes of cycle highway, which runs through 55 kilometers of the city, easing the congestion below, dedicating bus and motorbike lanes to the street level. This is the master plan. It runs 55 kilometers in certain areas where there's interchange stations. There's actually more cycle routes to get people out of the city. We're just plugging a modular system onto the side of the existing structure. So this is the beauty. It's actually already there. It's already built. We're just going to plug this onto the side, create 72,000 square meters of additional park space in the city, and reduce commuting times by up to 2 hours. It's a modular system of about 8 meters, constructed in a factory. It's a community project. So through a series of competitions and community programs, people of Bangkok can help to design the landscape and various products and things which will be put into the different sections. These are the communities which it runs through. So each section will be different. Each section will have its own locality, its own heritage infused into the different areas. New recreational facilities can be used at a different level as well. This is one of the park areas, so running and marathons and things like this can be used at a different level. Even the landscape can be different in the different areas. We're working with a very large tech company to infuse some of the retail and hospitals and things like this into the system as well. Using hydroponic plants on the underside, so it's a 55 kilometers of an ecosystem. It's fully sustainable. It's using photovoltaic cells, organic waste disposal units, top-down irrigation, which is a kind of recycled, even new changing rooms into the existing stations, photovoltaic cells. This is one of the cycle highways underneath. I love this. This is the Skyride card. I worked with local school children to design this, so you can already see the impact that you can have on the community. The bicycles you can rent is an extension from the existing Bangkok bike scheme. So what I'm proposing will have a massive impact on the city and the people living in it on many different levels. It's a scheme that not only provides sustainable transportation for generations to come, but also vital park space, community activity areas. The vision is that Bangkok won't be seen as just another polluted Asian city, but rather a sustainable green city that's forward-thinking, and it's more in keeping with the people that I know and I love, and that's the people of Bangkok. And I'll just finish by saying that creativity isn't about money. It's not about how much you spend. It's about thinking outside of the box, thinking differently. I dream of designing things which will move you, which will inspire you, and which is something which is completely different. So thank you very much.
I have a simple question. We face a major problem with our clients in creativity is how you're going to, let's say, for the very creative chandelier, how you're going to be able to clean it up. Since it's very sophisticated and it's very hard to clean.
No, we get that question all of the time. Actually, we've been doing these chandeliers for about 15 years, and there's never been a problem with maintenance or anything. We use a very high-density powder-coated paint onto each sheet before it's laser cut. After it's laser cut. And there really is no problems with cleaning or anything. They can just be kind of dusted. We've never had any complaints over the 15 years about cleaning or anything, or discoloring or anything like that. So it's kind of been okay.
Thank you.
No problem.